Brady. Welcome to my channel. I just wanted to share with you today kind of how I do my meal planning, how monthly meal planning can be easy and simple, and just show you just my process and how just how simple that really can be. So follow along with me and I'll show you what we do. So I apologize if it's a little shaky. I was trying to figure out how to set this up in kind of like a tripod, but it wasn't working, so I need to look into that kind of thing. So first, let me just show you the top of this. So this is just a free printable, and if I can find the link, I will try to link that below, or something to kind of help out there. But you can just Pinterest or Google search free monthly calendar printable, and you will find lots and lots and lots of resources. The one thing I will say is that you need to change the orientation of your printer. So but don't do like me and forget to change it back. I did that. I forgot to change it back to portrait and tried to print coupons, and so that messed that up. So you want to print in landscape so that you get a nice big box. Otherwise, it'll print like just the top half of your paper. So that's not going to be very helpful. Some people can work okay that way, but for me, I need the bigger squares for my writing. So let's look up here at these first the categories that I've written down. And these are just sticky tabs so that I can just pull them off and I don't have to see all this. It looks much neater, but this is what I generally do. So I will sit down and just be like, okay, these are the things I'm thinking, just to make going down through these categories easier. Yeah, so this first category for Sundays is going to be like comfort meals. So each thing down here are going to be things that take more time, may take longer in the kitchen. I may need more, my kids distracted, something like that. So when my husband is home, that is when I try to do those kind of meals. Plus, it's a lot easier and a lot nicer to enjoy a home-cooked comfort meal when you're not having to reheat it up as leftovers because of his work schedule. So that helps there. So Sundays is going to be comfort food. Mondays is going to be kind of whatever literally means what it sounds. So it might be that we have chicken nuggets. We might have sandwiches. We might have hot dogs. Or I may get bold and make something a little more complicated. Whatever flies that day, just because Mondays are kind of crazy because I try to get a lot of my cleaning done those days. Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. So one day we may have beef tacos. The next day, or the next Tuesday, I may try to do something like enchiladas, that sort of thing. Wednesday is pizza. That is always pizza for us. Whether I make homemade pizza, frozen pizza, we order a pizza, we do pizza and salad. Super simple. Thursdays, chicken. So I kind of rotate on Thursdays. We're kind of a creature of habit on that. Most Thursdays we're either having one of two things, which is Ritz cheddar chicken, which if anyone is ever interested in a video on that, I can do that. I may go ahead and put that on my list of videos to do. Super simple, super delicious, super moist, very easy quick night meal. Also for chicken, we do shake and bake. So whether I make my own shake and bake with just some breadcrumbs and seasoning, or I buy the actual box mix, we kind of rotate through. So with there only being 4 Thursdays, I can almost guarantee you that's what we'll do. It's 2 nights and 2 nights. Fridays, crock pot, easy meals. So I might do beef tips, I might do a soup, I might do chili, something that I can put on in the mornings and go, because Fridays are extremely busy for us no matter what week it is. Even if it seems like it's not going to be, Fridays end up being pure chaos. So I like to have something quick, something easy, but real food, so we're not tempted to eat out, because that is my grocery shopping day. I also get my kiddo from pre-K that day. Well, I get her every day, but in addition to getting her in the middle of the day, I also have other things to do. I have mom's group that meets usually twice a month. We're only meeting once for October, but that's besides the point. So Fridays are just really crazy. And then I'm exhausted from the week. So I'm like, whatever, we're just going to eat. Saturdays this month is going to be reserved for, or are going to be reserved for, eating out or leftovers. So I'll show you in a minute how I write that out, but I literally write that on each of those 4 days, and we will just play it by ear. So if we have no leftovers left, we may eat some chicken nuggets out of the freezer, or we may eat a frozen pizza, but most likely we'll order something out. But there's usually always leftovers on Saturdays. So let me go ahead and fill in pizza and leftovers, and then I'll start showing you how we do Taco Tuesday. So now that I've got those filled in, I will also went on ahead and filled in tonight's meal, which is going to be chicken fried rice. I've actually already got my jasmine rice cooked and cooling so that I can get that made. So you see that I literally just went in and filled in pizza and salad, pizza and salad, pizza and salad. That just makes it super simple for me. I always have a frozen pizza on hand. I pretty much, always have the things to make pizza dough, although that does mess up my kitchen, so it doesn't make for a super simple cleanup night, but that's okay. And then we also have I can go pick up a carry-out meal, and one large pizza and some breadsticks for us is like $12 from Domino's. And that will feed us because my 4-year-old and the 1-year-old do not eat pizza. So that's just for me and my husband. So it usually works out as a pretty cheap eat-out night. And then you see that I literally, I actually just filled in eat out or leftovers the whole way down through there. So I can tell you here on the 13th, we have a work event for my husband's job. That is a family day type event. So I know we won't be home for dinner. We'll probably eat dinner there. So that's another eat out option. If we get hungry when we're home, because it will be an early dinner, then we can come home and just kind of snack on whatever's around. So let me go ahead and fill in the taco meals, and then we'll come back and see what that looks like. So now we're back, and I have filled in Tuesdays. I also got carried away and started filling in on Friday, but we'll get there in a minute. So Taco Tuesday, so for this coming Tuesday, tomorrow, we're going to have Mexican chicken casserole, which is basically just kind of a mix of some cream soups, shredded chicken, seasonings, beans, and cheese. And then it is layered and poured over top of crunched up tortilla chips with some on top, with some corn on the side, beef tacos, refried beans, and Mexican rice. The next Tuesday will be cilantro lime chicken tacos with a beef, bean, and cheese bake. The beef, bean, and cheese bake, I found that recipe through Shelly at Shelly's Home Life. I love her channel. And we recently tried that recipe and we are hooked. So that is something that we want to incorporate more. The cilantro lime chicken tacos, that is a recipe I found on Pinterest. It is in the crock pot. I believe you add your cilantro and lime towards the end of cooking, and then top with fresh cilantro, so that sounds delicious. The next Tuesday we're going to have taco bake, which is just beef taco mix layered in with a bunch of other seasonings and ingredients, and then you just bake it, and it's pretty much a one-dish meal, but we will add some rice on the side if we're feeling that. And then for the last Tuesday of the month, we will have a queso chicken and rice bake. So like I said, this is it's not necessarily Tuesday that we're going to have tacos, just beef tacos. So that gets a little repetitive. So we are going to have, a mix of things. It's just my way of adding in Mexican food. So let's go ahead and talk about Fridays. For the crockpot beef tips, mashed potatoes, mac and cheese, and green beans. The reason we're going to have 2 starches is I'm already planning that for this meal here, we will have mac and cheese left over. So I want to have that, I want to get that eaten up because we love macaroni and cheese, but it makes a ton and we never end up eating it all for one meal. So that'll be that meal, and that is super simple because I can dump all of that in the crock pot together and open up a bag of instant mashed potatoes. I love and prefer homemade mashed potatoes. They are fairly simple to make, so I may make those. It'll just depend on how our Friday goes. I know that we don't have mom's group this Friday, so that may make it a little easier for me to get that done. Like I said, the mac and cheese will already be done, and my green beans I actually do in the crock pot, a separate crock pot, obviously, from the beef tips. But I do them in the crock pot with ham hock, or I think I have a smoked turkey leg this time to try. But some sort of flavoring like that, and they just cook low and slow all day long, and they are delicious. I'm sure all the nutrients are cooked out, but they taste delicious. So it sounds like a lot of food, and it is, but they're all very simple. So I'll either make homemade mashed potatoes, which is the only thing I'll really have to do anything to, or I will make, like I said, the instant ones. And we love, I think it's the Idahoan brand, that is baby reds with garlic. They're so good. So good. For an instant mashed potato, they're amazing. So that is what we're going to do this Friday. Let me fill in the rest of our Fridays, and then we'll come back and talk about the chicken, and then adding in these Sunday meals. Because the Sunday meals is where I go and really kind of search, look through my Pioneer Woman cookbooks, talk to my husband, what are you craving, what are you wanting, and see from there, okay? So I'll be right back. So I filled these in, and I went on ahead and filled in Thursday's chicken meal. So rich cheddar chicken, shake and bake, rich cheddar chicken, shake and bake. Super simple. They're both super easy, but it gives us a variety on that. So like I said, this Friday we're going to have the crock pot beef tips. The next one that I have on there for the 12th is Guinness beef stew with homemade bread. We may swap that out, but that's the plan for now. The 19th, you'll see that is labeled as a freezer meal, which means that I will probably make it sometime up through here and throw in the freezer, is the Salisbury steak. I do make homemade. Mashed potatoes, mac and cheese, again to use up the mac and cheese from the week before. And then crock pot taco soup with cheese and Fritos. Sometimes I do my taco soup with chicken. Sometimes I do my taco soup with beef. We have also made it with turkey. So that is a super simple, because I'll either have shredded chicken already frozen, already cooked and shredded and frozen in the freezer, or I'll have ground beef already cooked and in the freezer. So I can just literally dump everything in there with the cans, a little bit of water or beef broth or chicken broth, and let it cook, and that is done. So that one will be super simple also. So like I said, that is the plan for Fridays. It's easy meals. And a lot of these you'll see are very large meals, which intends for these leftovers. That's where that comes from also. I don't do leftovers through the week. I know a lot of people do. I don't tend to do leftovers through the week often, because we eat them for lunch. My husband takes them to work for lunch, or we finish them off on the weekends. So we try very hard for nothing to go to waste. So let's look over here, and we are wanting my homemade chicken quesadillas. So I think I'm going to fill that in one day. Those are made with homemade tortillas, so it is an endeavor to make those. But I do think this weekend we're going to grill out. So we're going to grill out a bunch of food, and I'll try to film some of that when we do that, and just kind of show you how we do that. Because when we grill, I put chicken, I'll put steaks, I'll put baked potatoes on the grill, I'll put corn on the cob on the grill. I also like to put extra chicken, extra steak, burgers, the whole 9 yards. I cook a ton, way more than we'll need for one meal, so that it can carry over for lunches, so that I can put some grilled chicken in the freezer for salads, that sort of thing. So I think we're going to do that this Sunday. The next Sunday, I'll probably do the chicken quesadillas with homemade tortillas. The goal is actually to make extra tortillas to put them in the freezer, so then I don't have to buy them for taco night, but we'll see how that goes. And then I'm also thinking homemade chicken tenders, like homemade fried chicken. And then I'm not sure what I'm going to do for this last Sunday. So I'm going to peruse my cookbooks and Pinterest, and I will bring you back whenever I fill that out. So I have finished filling out my meal plan, and let me show you what all I added in. So like I said, we did the grill out day. We're going to do the homemade chicken quesadillas and rice, homemade chicken tenders, and then I'm also going to do some homemade country fried steak fingers. Notice I don't have the sides filled in really for these. it'll really be just whatever we're filling, whatever I've got on hand. And but these country fried steak fingers are delicious. They're super simple. They do make a mess just because there's a lot of flour involved, but they're delicious. I did get those from a Pioneer Woman cookbook of mine. I don't know which one, but maybe when I make those, I'll pull out the cookbook and show you. And then, so we'll start back up here for Monday. So tonight is chicken fried rice. Next week would be sweet and sour chicken with vegetable fried rice, sheet pan fajitas and toppings. Yes, I noticed that there's quesadillas, fajitas, and then chicken lime tacos, but I can mix these up. Like I said, we don't stay true necessarily to everything. It just gives me categories to be able to plan everything out quickly. This is only taking me about 20 or 30 minutes to plan everything out, and that's with filming and starting, stopping, and looking things up. So it goes really quickly doing it this way. And I only do this once a month, so that saves a ton of time. I used to spend that doing that every week. So like I said, there are 3 kind of like Mexican nights in a row. We can mix them up, or knowing us, we love any kind of Mexican food, so we would probably be very content to just eat those, just how they are planned out. Then the 22nd is planned for pasta carbonara, salad, and garlic knots, which if you've never had pasta carbonara, mine is not the true carbonara. True carbonara has egg yolks, and I don't make mine that way, but I do make a homemade sauce, so I may show you that one night as well. And then the 29th, I have spaghetti with salad and garlic bread. We have not had spaghetti in a very long time, and I make my own spaghetti sauce, so that'll actually give me a good opportunity to put some in the freezer for future freezer meals and that sort of thing. So hold on just a second, let me flip this over. Alright guys, so that is it. It is super simple. That is my October meal plan. Like I said, I don't spend a ton of time on it, and we're not super true to exactly what goes on what day, but it does help us a lot to know already what meats we have on hand, what perishables we have on hand, or non-perishables rather. But even if we don't have those things on hand, my weekly grocery shopping can go very quickly if I know, oh, I just need cilantro and I just need some tortillas or whatever, you know, because the meals are already planned out, the month is already thought of. So it goes very quickly for us and gives everyone a good idea of what's going on. So if you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you for watching, and I'll get back with you on the next video. Bye guys.